What happens when a saver marries a spender or spender marries a spender? What can happen in the marriage? What can happen to the money? Yes, in this video, I'm going to talk about what happens with these combinations. In my previous videos, you would have watched money personalities, the 10 money personalities, and what are the factors that influence these money personalities. If you haven't watched, you can check my videos, those videos that will give you a good sense of what is a money personality, how they are formed, and what are those 10 money personalities, and is there a way to change them. So in today's video, we are going to talk about those different personalities which get married. Opposites attract each other, and that is true so much in marriage. But what happens after you get married? So I'm Frankie Fernandez. I'm a certified financial planner and I'm also a certified marriage coach. And my goal and mission is to help young families build their wealth and their marriage together. So let's get into this session. Although there are 10 money personalities, but broadly speaking, there are only three money personalities, which is the savers, the spenders, and the givers at a high level, at a broad level. And to understand what happens when two people who have different money personalities get married to each other, what happens? And broadly speaking, it is just those three. And here, what I have done is I've tried to combine uh, these three money personalities into with each other, and that comes out with six different money personalities. So let's look at each of them. What do these personalities mean? So let's talk about the super savers. I have assigned a name to each of them. Super savers, this is when a saver marries a saver. So when a saver marries a saver, prima facie, it seems like they're great. Obviously, it's a very good combination to have because there are two individuals come together and who are savers. In fact, recently I was talking to a couple and I discovered that both of them are actually savers, which is a very good combination because there'll be less conflicts when it comes to managing finances because both of them have one goal that they must save their money. There is no struggle like a saver marrying a spender. They also have common financial goals because when they sit to write down their financial goals, they have the common financial goals. So it's pretty easy when you have a family where both of them are having the attitude to save. And the advantage of this family is that they will become wealthy and financially free very early in life because their goal is to save. And they also pass on a very good financial legacy to their children because their children are watching them, hearing them speak, and seeing them. They are in action when it comes to savings. They know that they talk about, hey, we must save, don't spend too much, don't spend this in the mall or supermarket, don't. So they always know that spending is not what is very common in this home, but there is a lot of frugality. The father and mother are frugal. So they are actually passing on a very good legacy. But can there be challenges in such a family? Yes, of course. There will be challenges, primarily because there's a very rigid financial behavior. They're very rigid. So when it comes to spending or when it comes to spending on good things like spending on vacations, building memories, uh, these families will typically not be doing it because they want to save. They are focused on saving. They don't really enjoy life because their goal is to save. So a lot of good spending is prevented. There is a lot of resistance to spending on good things. There's one more thing that is compromised is generosity. There is so much of focus on spending, or there's so much focus on saving and investing that they forget that there is a world outside which needs. There is a church, or there are the poor, those who are hospitalized, their friends or relatives, where there is a huge need of money. So this family will not be naturally inclined to give unless they are coaxed, unless they are motivated from outside, they won't give. So this is the super savers. So the second combination or a couple, I have named them as balancers because there is one saver and the other is a spender. Now, this is a very interesting combination because obviously there seems like there is a lot of tension in this home because of these tendencies, but it is not all that bad as we can imagine. In fact, there are good things also, and that's what we will see. So in a balancer, there is a spender and a saver in the same home. And prima facie, it seems like, oh, there will be so much tension. Yes, there are tensions because there's one person who talks about saving, the other says, oh, no, we should spend. You always wants to save. And the other says, you always want to spend. And the saver can say, hey, I'm saving for the retirement. And the spender will say, oh, what is the point in just saving for your retirement when we don't have a good relationship because we have not spent on memories, building memories and all that. Yes, of course. So that is the good thing about this home because there is a lot of balance. When there is one person who goes to the extreme of spending, that the other who says no, we should save. And so there is a good amount of balance in these homes, and they both complement each other because there is one who is good at saving, and that person, that husband or wife, complements the other because the other person is thinking of spending for the home, maybe building memories or buying stuff for the home. So they complement each other. They're not competing with each other. And that is a good thing about this home. And there's also an opportunity to learn from each other. Uh, though the one who spends learns new. For example, when a spender gets married to a saver, till that point they're always thinking about spending, very little about savings. So when they get married, they're actually listening to their spouse who's talking about savings. So they learn what is savings, what are the good things about saving, how to invest, where to invest. So they're learning. At the same time, the one who is only thinking about saving, they also learn that new perspective about spending. Spending, for example, on vacation, spending on some good clothes, spending on going to a restaurant where they can spend time together. So not everything is bad because even spending can be done for good things. For example, buying an online course, buying good books, right? So there is a lot of learning from each other. Now, of course, there are challenges in these homes. There are differences in financial priorities in these homes because when you, for example, sit down to do your budget, right? Or you sit down to write your financial goals. There's always a tussle, right? No, I don't think we should spend so much. Oh, I don't think we should save so much. Let's think also about spending. So there is a little amount of conflicts, right? And at times there is a compromise that one of them has to do to save the relationship, to build the relationship, to avoid conflicts. So yes, there are challenges in these homes, but there's also a good balance in these homes. Number three, philanthropics. When a saver marries a giver. What happens when a saver marries a giver? Again, this prima facie seems like a very good combination. There is one person who's thinking of saving, the other is thinking of giving, where spending is not so much of a focus. Yes, it's a great family. That's why I've called them the philanthropics, because primarily the one who wants to give is able to give because the other person thinks of saving and investing. The more you save and invest, more you can give, right? So this is a family who are wealth creators because there is one person who's aggressive in saving, which is a very good trait of these families. And they also leave a culture and legacy of generosity, because in this home you will find the husband and wife, the father and mother, often thinking about giving, talking about giving and saving. What are the children learning? They're learning that you need to save and give. These are the very important things about a family. And here you can find that the husband and wife both are supporters for each other, because there's one who wants to save, the other says, I want to do something good, right? Vis-a-vis couple who is saving and spending, right? In giving, the one who is saving thinks that, yes, this money is put to good use by giving, right? So there is a lot of advantage in saving and giving. But there are also challenges in this home. Obviously, like we saw in the savers and savers, they do not tend to enjoy life because there's not much of spending. A lot of joy and enjoyment comes when you also spend. Yes, you get great joy when you are giving, but then when you only give at the cost of your own home, your children may not be happy. You may not be happy. Your spouse may not be happy, who is a saver, because a lot of money is going into giving. What about us, right? And they have also a very rigid financial behavior because they are too focused on saving, this percentage saving, this percentage giving, right? There's a lot of rigidity when it comes to this couple. And finally, you find that this couple is very overcautious. They're overcautious. They do not risk, or they do not take the initiative in spending. They're very overcautious. Hey, we have to save so much. Oh, we have to give so much. So, so these are some of those challenges that can come in these homes where they are the philanthropics.